experience and music therapy. Wow, this is the day that the Lord has made, and you are blessed. In fact, God commands you to rejoice and be glad in it. Do you know why? Because this very special morning, God has ordained a destiny mentor to be on this set, and he's no other person than the world bestseller elder William Gabienu. He's the bestseller for the book Grabbing Your Destiny by the Horns. You know, I wrote a book about destiny, so when I hear somebody else writing about destiny, I can't keep it. I have to bring him here for you. You surprised? Yes, he's here with me, Elder Gabienu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you.
wow. We learned, I read it, that your book are hitting the shelves and you're making it all over. And this is surprising because, wow, it's your first book.
This is my very first book, and I really thank God for the success of it so far. And this says a whole lot about the message of the book. It is God inspired.
And the title for the book itself, Grabbing Your Destiny by the Horns.
Yeah.
Wow. How were you inspired to stiamo parlando del libro di questo signore, è un autore, un anziano nella chiesa pentecostale. Guardate, ha scritto un libro intitolato Grabbing Your Destiny by the Horns. E com'è che si traduce in italiano? Afferrando tuo destino per la corna, non la corna che intendete, ma la corna che la Bibbia intende, vero? Quindi è qui per parlarci un po' del libro, dopo proverò di fare un sommario di quello che lui ci dice. And I asked how were you inspired to
For years actually, when I was working on this book, the interesting thing about it is that I always had a title in mind. From day one, my title was I Have a Dream.
Okay. Inspired by?
Let's say that was what I actually had in mind when I took my pen and paper the very first day.
That's nothing to do
with Martin Luther.
Okay.
Yeah, but then just a few steps before I would submit my book to the publisher, then all of a sudden I just saw this title, Grabbing Your Destiny by the Horns, flashed on the eyes of my mind, and I was like, wow. Wow. So I picked it up, and I had to change the title of my book right there and then at the very last moment. That's why I think there is God in it. God is in it. And everyone who looks at the title always get back to me, and it's like their words are words that really, really encourage me a lot.
Finding your place in destiny, if the English says to be too big or too theological for whoever wouldn't understand what grabbing your destiny by the horns is. He says it is finding your place in life, and this is the $1 billion question. You want to know about the author. William Gabienu is a highly sought after and respected Christian educator as well as a motivational speaker. He strongly believes that God has wonderful plans for all he has created, and this forms an integral part of his ministry and message. Gabienu's desire is to see men everywhere living out their God-given lives fully. You are not a miser then.
I'm not.
And he lives currently in Italy. And on the book, I want to read just something you said here where it's really touching. It says, discover the keys to living out the dreams of your heart in this riveting masterpiece. This book unveils to you your uniqueness and tremendous strength and abilities as an individual. It also exposes you to the blueprints you require to start living out your dream.
Yeah.
How does one find his place in life?
Well, firstly, it all starts with the realization of who you are as an individual. We are not of ourselves. We are of God. God created us. So if God created us, He's got a destiny. He's got a reason why He created us. So if we have to find our place in life, I think the best thing, that's what I try to put into this book, is to go back to God. Go back to the reason why He created us. And in that, we find the purpose of our lives.
Was this book written for believers alone? Because when I read it,
Yeah.
what I saw was that it's a book that everyone.
Everyone.
And because
You know what? I actually had to test myself. I put the book in the hands of an unbeliever. This person believes only in science. He read the whole book and then came back to me later on to tell me that after reading the book, she has always been critical of Christians, but then after reading the book, she still finds it very useful for her science work, her
Wow.
business, and everything else. So actually, it's a book that is useful for everybody. That is the importance of the book. I really want to make sure that everyone, Christian or not, is able to make the best out of their lives.
Mr. Gabienu, as Elder Gabienu, that is how I have to address you. You are an elder in the Church of Pentecost, Verona. That is what you told me. Oh.
No. Exactly. I'm not an elder yet.
Yes.
I'm not an elder.
You are in the line of becoming an
let's
elder.
say I'm in the line of becoming an elder.
I preach,
Yeah, I am.
You.
Well, what I basically do is that, I don't believe in being in the Church of God and being useless, if I should put it that word.
Wow.
I think every Christian should do something in the house of God. It should be useful to God. So I try to, I don't really look at the positions the church gives and all that. Then I just try to please my God. So yeah, like you rightly said, I teach Bible, I preach. I'm
You're a
very,
conference
very.
speaker. You are a motivational
I do all of
speaker.
that. I do all of that. I don't limit myself to the church, but then my height is God, and I really want to give out my best to Him.
For the church-minded person, when we say finding your place in life,
Yeah.
you answered the question. It's either, I remember it very much when they used to prophesy over me and say, God is going to use you. My mind used to think, am I going to be a pastor, a teacher, which fivefold ministry? But God had a different intention for me, and He brought me to a place to work as a journalist.
That is it.
And that blew the minds of people, because, so you're saying finding your place in life. You are saying that it is not only about belonging to the fivefold ministry
It's
or being
not.
positioned in church.
It's not. This is about life. Like I was saying earlier on, life is a gift God has given to you. And then talking about the fivefold ministry, it's something that's to God. It's service you render to God. But then once He has given you a life as a gift, there is a purpose for that. So you are not on earth for any other reason but to live your life according to that design which He has purposed for you.
The book has 10 chapters, marked for the ultimate, understanding your inner cry. Now, what are you going to say on each of the chapter? Marked for the ultimate. It is the first chapter.
It is the very first chapter.
Yes.
Marked for the ultimate. Really, in this chapter, that's how I really started everything. One of my best so far. It deals with the fact that God really marked us. Let me put it that way. There is a mark on each and every one of us right from creation. Even before the very foundation of the world was made, God